Magnolia ISD has a clear vision and mission to be the best school district in the state of Texas.
Welcome to Magnolia, Texas. It's the perfect place to live and teach.
Magnolia ISD is dedicated to being the best district in Texas.
Following tonight, a Magnolia ISD school bus driver accused of inappropriately touching a 6-year-old girl.
Alleged incident involving a 6-year-old girl, though, took place yesterday morning. The girl's parents tell us their daughter was outside, went across the street to a neighbor's house. She thought the neighbors were home. Instead, they say Curry was there. He had stopped by to feed the neighbor's animals. That's when Curry allegedly asked the girl if she, too, would like to feed the animals. She said yes, the mother tells us. Then Curry allegedly began to ask the girl questions, including, do you want to play a game? That's when Curry allegedly restrained the girl, touching her inappropriately.
Now to a disturbing case out of Montgomery County. A man accused of indecency with a child, touching a 6-year-old girl inappropriately. Magnolia ISD confirming tonight that he is a bus driver for the school district.
Another question, Mom says, do you want to play a game? She says Curry then sat on the ground. That's when Curry allegedly restrained the girl, touching her inappropriately.
This is the man police arrested and charged with indecency of a child. Montgomery County Sheriff deputies say on Thursday he was watching dogs while the owners were away. A 6-year-old neighbor came over to feed the animals. Deputies say the girl was sexually touched and later told her parents. Deputies also say he's involved with his church, but don't know the extent.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Jonathan Martin. Would you want your child to walk 2 or more miles to school with no sidewalks and sex offenders along the path? Well, more than 200 angry parents giving the Magnolia ISD School Board an earful tonight.
Jonathan, some Magnolia ISD students are walking a mile, even 2 miles, just to get to the bus stop. It's dark, there's no sidewalks, and parents say several sex offenders live in the area.
Talk to their kids, make sure nothing's happened to their babies.
This mother still wants answers from the Magnolia Independent School District as a sexual predator heads to prison.
It's been really hard. It's been a battle.
Matthew Curry pled guilty to assaulting her 4-year-old daughter and recording the act while employed as a bus monitor.
I didn't understand how it could happen on a school bus, of all places. Over the course of 2 months it happened. So there were several occasions where it was happening on that school bus.
Former Magnolia ISD custodian is in jail accused of raping and sexually abusing 3 children for nearly a decade.
This is 62-year-old Jeffrey Hitchcock, accused of taking advantage of 3 children from 2005 to 2014. Representatives with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office say Hitchcock was a custodian at Magnolia West High School. They say he resigned back in 2013 after an internal investigation at the district, where he was accused of making inappropriate contact with a teenager. The Magnolia ISD spokesperson tells ABC 13 there was never an internal investigation done by the district. Officials said Hitchcock, his wife and brother lived in a trailer in Magnolia with the child victims. Court documents state Hitchcock and his brother would give the children beer and Cheetos and then sexually abuse them.
I couldn't keep sacrificing myself because they wanted to keep a man in power, abusing his power and his position of power. I was scared of the man I was working with. It was completely mishandled. I was told it was my job to work with my abuser. When I walked in to clear the air, I was told to sit down. I was told it wasn't going to end well for me.
She says the district tried to find reasons to fire her before she resigned. A third former teacher who asked us not to identify her claims the administrator told her to make up grades, a concept that made her consider leaving, telling KPRC2 in a statement, quote, "He grabbed my face in both hands and got close to me. I was having panic attacks regularly and became physically ill due to stress. It was too stressful of an environment for me to stay in." She eventually left.
A Magnolia ISD teacher is accused of having an improper relationship with a student. The Montgomery County Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force says Grant Tozier has been charged with 2 counts of possession of child pornography and an improper relationship between educator and student. All of these charges are felonies, and we are still waiting on a statement from the school district.
A now former teacher's aide at Bear Branch Junior High in Magnolia ISD is facing charges of indecency with a child through sexual contact.
46-year-old Sheila Valdivieso was arrested Saturday at her home in the Woodlands. The Montgomery County Precinct 5 Constable's Office says she's accused of sexually assaulting a teenage student. Valdivieso is being held on a $50,000 bond. Magnolia ISD says she has been fired, and they are notifying students' parents. Officers are asking that if anyone has any information to contact police.
At 4:30, a former Magnolia ISD teacher is now in custody and charged with improper relationship between an educator and student.
And we've learned through court documents he worked at Magnolia Parkway Elementary School.
Court documents reveal he allegedly had students sit on his lap and even touch them inappropriately. But those parents tell me they are also angry because they say the district only notified them just yesterday, one day before summer break.
40-year-old Jason Thomas Maldonado charged with one count of improper relationship between an educator and student in Montgomery County. But court documents reveal the alleged inappropriate contact with students happened on several different occasions from this school year and the 2024 to 2025 school year. Through interviews spelled out in the documents, detectives wrote many of the students involved say he would have them sit on his lap, and others say he would be touchy up their shirts and pants. The documents show one student revealed he had her place her feet on Maldonado's legs during an exam, and he played with her feet, cracking her toes and causing her pain. Another described in the court documents, Maldonado would take pictures of her sometimes and tell her exactly how to lay down on the floor and pose. Parents we spoke with felt like they were left in the dark.
Now at 4:30, we're hearing from parents at Magnolia ISD after a former elementary school teacher was charged for having an inappropriate relationship with students.
We first told you about Jason Maldonado back in May when he was arrested and charged in Montgomery County. Our Brianna Will is joining us now with why they say he should have been stopped years ago. Brianna.
Yeah, that's correct, ladies. And right now, Maldonado is only charged with one count, but in court records, investigators say they believe there was inappropriate behavior with multiple students. After our initial story aired, parents reached out to me because they say they believe their children were victims of Maldonado before this most recent school year. They told me they've reported him to school staff for years and nothing was done until now, and they want the district held accountable.
It's heartbreaking. I had had all the conversations, I thought, with her. I had talked to her about what was appropriate, what wasn't appropriate, but I wasn't counting on him doing something extra that I didn't know about, right?
It's something Taylor and Ryan Craig say they never thought their daughter would have to experience. They told me their child was one of many who were touched and made to feel uncomfortable by former Magnolia ISD teacher Jason Thomas Maldonado.
He gave candy for hugs, routinely. I saw him do it to our daughter once.
In May, Maldonado was arrested and charged with improper relationship between an educator and student. Court documents revealing at the time, students said he would have them sit on his lap and touch students underneath their clothing.
She started having migraines that year, and so he told her to get underneath his desk to rest. And at that point, I said, no more. We're not doing this. This isn't okay. And I went to the school.
Craig says she went to school administrators back in 2024, and attorneys involved say she wasn't the first one. They gave us this email correspondence between a different parent and staff at the school. It shows staff write, November 17th, 2023 is the day we spoke with you, as well as your child was talked to, and it was addressed. In response to the Craig family's formal complaint, the district acknowledged Craig met with the school principal at the time on October 30th, 2024, and she reported that Mr. Maldonado really likes hugs, only hugged female students, had a mat under his desk for students to use, and he allowed her to use his jacket. The district goes on to say they do not dispute this report, but there is nothing inherently sexual about those allegations. Attorneys representing at least 4 of the families say otherwise and say something should have been done before Maldonado was placed on leave in December 2025.
We know that it started as early as 2022, the inappropriate conduct, the inappropriate touching, the inappropriate just general attitude by this teacher.
Which your clients reported?
They did.
How did they do that?
They reported it to the school.
We're talking about dozens of parents. No one's shocked. No one's surprised. So
how can the administration look our parents and look this community in the face and say, well, you know what, we don't think you actually made these complaints. And in fact, you know what, we don't even have record of your complaints.
We reached out to Magnolia ISD about the claims the district knew about Maldonado's behavior before December 2025. They wouldn't answer our questions, saying they can't share personnel matters. All the families we spoke with involved, some who did not want to be identified due to privacy reasons, say for them, this case is not about winning or losing. They say it's about change and others outside of Maldonado being held responsible.
They expect our children to be accountable for their actions, and we expect them to be accountable for their actions and their lack of action. These people are mandatory reporters, and they failed.
Yeah, and the parents we spoke with believe there could be even more victims and are still asking for people to come forward. I have reached out to Maldonado's attorneys. They told me they're aware of the allegations and plan to vigorously defend him during this process. Ladies.
Hard to listen to those parents saying they're in. Yeah, thanks, Brianna.
In Magnolia ISD, we are a family, and we celebrate all of our successes with the community. So thank you to the parents, volunteers, and the greater Magnolia community for your dedication in helping us be the best district in the state of Texas.